Here we go. All right. Welcome, everybody, to a special, more chill, more laid back Splinter Talk. We got a couple friends here with us today. Tales of the Cryptmancer with the return, and Drop Bear, which we have never spoken to before. So this will be fun. We got another content creator on. There was not much in the news today, or I guess this week at all, because all the reward changes were announced a couple weeks ago. So this one's just gonna be laid back. You can see the chat on the screen. We're just going to interact with you guys. If you guys have any questions or hot takes, throw something in the chat. We'll discuss it here. But first, hearing something there. Drop Bear, I don't know if you turned the fan on or something, but a decent amount of noise coming in.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's me, mate.
Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, well, Drop Bear, we've never gotten to talk before, so this is cool. You just reached out last week. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been doing some Splinterlands content, where can people find you, and what kind of level are you playing at with Splinterlands?
Okay, sweet. Righto. Well, I started close to about 10 to 9 months ago, and I just started because I was just looking into play to earn games, and I was just floating around trying to find something more stable and something I believed in more. So then after a period of time, I stopped playing, and then I actually went back to it because I seen it was stable and I quite liked the way that the project was going, and I've been playing now ever since. I think I'm usually playing at Diamond at the moment, but in between I just started a new guild, so I've been running a guild with the Diamond. I filled that one up and I decided to run a new one, so I started running a lower guild and just started playing back in Bronze as well. It was kind of a bit difficult learning how to play back in Bronze when you're used to playing a little bit higher, if you understand what I mean. Much ado.
Oh, yeah.
Kettle of fish, yeah. Not quite as many cards you can use, but it's been good so far. So I'm just rebuilding that new guild for different level of players as well. So that's why my journey and what I've been up to so far with that.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's, as you said, it's quite different going from Diamond. I mean, I'm in a funny position where I often play in Silver, and so there's sometimes where I'll play Bronze tournaments and then try to rent for, like, Gold Diamond. And it's two different worlds, man. It's just a completely different game. So
yeah, just one card changes the whole lot because it has the ability or it doesn't have the ability, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. It's glad to have you here and on for the first time. Thank you for being here. Tales of the Cryptmancer back for the third time, I want to say. Is that correct?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. How have you been? What's been up since the last time we saw you?
Well, I've just been trying to build my deck here to get to the next level, and I think a lot of people are probably doing that in the community as we prepare for the new ranked rewards. Whether you're going from Bronze to stretch to Silver maybe, or Silver to Gold, or whatever that happens to be. And I think we're seeing it in the marketplace, really. The Chaos Legion cards are the cheapest cards, generally speaking, and those prices are steadily going up because I think a lot of people are trying to move their decks to that next level. So I've been kind of on that train. I know it's maybe not ideal, but we're just a couple days away from the new system, so that's been my focus.
Yeah, I wonder how many of you guys in the chat are feeling the FOMO. I mean, I think it was like 2 weeks ago when it was like the average Chaos Legion openings, I think, for a pack was like 250, maybe 270 or something like that, and now it's back up to 370. At one point, I think Cryptmancer was like up to like 390 or something we were talking about, right?
Yeah, last night it was like 393. It was pretty crazy.
Drop Bear, have you felt the FOMO for all these Chaos Legion cards bumping up in price, or do you feel like you're kind of already set with the deck that you got?
Well, I seen the changes coming, so I started buying more cards like a bit earlier because when I was listening to content and other things, and I was like, well, I need to try to get higher. So I attempted to try to push higher into, per se, Champion, and it just didn't work out well for me. So I think it's better for me to stay in Diamond, but I did able to level up a few of my summoners. That's the main thing I was focused on during that period of time. Level them summoners up to play in whatever league you want to play in because of them changes coming. So I was able to do that a lot just before all these price increases. So I'd probably sit in a bit better there, but still there's always more cards you want and need. You keep looking at it, there's always more, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I feel that way. I'm like, oh man, I need this, Chaos Legion Silver level deck is like my goal is like max Silver, and then all of a sudden with all this FOMO, I'm like, I want to play in gold with these new rewards, and so like I decided to buy a couple level 5 summoners, Chaos Legion, at least get Thaddeus and General Sloan, and I'm like, I don't know. I pushed into gold this season. I'm wondering how many people are gonna do this, where they pushed into gold when they saw the DEC like double or triple, and then now I'm getting smacked in gold. I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna be good, because now next season I essentially have to play in gold, or I'm not gonna get the same amount of rewards that I desire.
Yeah, true. That's the thing you got to think of too. Where can you play competitively? So you got to reevaluate. Everyone wants to play higher, but I think we just got to play where our cards lay for the period of time that we're actually in.
Yeah. Apparently, Ashley says Countess Sanash won't have Life Leech anymore. I didn't see that announcement. You guys look at the new reward cards at all?
So I have not got on the test server in the last day or so, just because I've been so busy just trying to rank up to the highest level I can this season. But I think we all knew that there's going to be significant changes to the cards, and Countess Sanash was probably one of the primary ones to first get addressed, just because it seemed like she was pretty overpowered with Yodin, with that life leech, with the blast. So I would expect more changes as we, over the coming days, that we're going to see in the test server as they fine tune some of those cards a little bit more.
I mean, that's a pretty big change, because we were talking about last week, that was like one of the most legendary, like this is the top probably reward card that we're seeing come out. And then to take away Life Leech, essentially it's not that it's going to be bad, but we were talking about how pretty much it was a better version of Lyra in our opinion. And then now all of a sudden it's like, well, one of the really big abilities that was a part of this is now taken away. So I don't know if I think it still could be a viable good card, especially for Yodin, as you said. But that's kind of sad. I mean, it makes sense, though. I thought it was way too powerful when I saw that.
Yeah, it's one of those things as well. There are certain reward cards, and I think Kraken is a reward card, if I recall correctly, that are just really, really strong legendary reward cards. But I think they have to kind of, walk that fine line of making the legendary reward cards on airdrops kind of be the better ones in the grand scheme of things. And having something like a Jin Shanis as a reward card makes it desirable, but it's not crazy overpowered. Having that life leech on Countess Sanash would definitely been a little bit on the one side of the line, I think.
Too game breaking. I mean, that it's kind of funny how they're talking about like, hey, we're providing this new ability to counter Yodin, and then it is like also at the same time, we're just gonna gift Yodin 2 more ranged attackers. It's like, well, did you really nerf him then?
Yeah, it's interesting because the old Countess Sanash kit was actually kind of a nice counter to Yodin. So if Countess Sanash happened to be on a different Splinter, maybe it would have been for the best. I don't know, more balancing in that regard.
Yeah. How about for you guys? Are you guys deciding to advance a league and try to push up, or are you guys staying in? Because the way I'm understanding it, right, is that your rewards are going to count towards your previous season. So we're already in this season. Like when these new reward changes go live, it's going to be your rewards based on wherever you finish this season, right? Is that determining your guys' end of season? I'm seeing some people in the chat asking about that or talking about that.
Well, I don't think we know for certain. The assumption was, for example, if you pushed into gold this season, you would start in silver and earn gold reward chests. But the way the test server worked is it seemed to put everyone, I think, in the bronze level to start, almost like it reset and said you didn't have a previous season recorded, so it just reset everyone.
No,
so
like they can't do that.
Yeah, that's what the test server did. So I don't know. I don't think they will do that for the game. I don't think they'll push everyone to bronze chest for the first season, but at least with the test server release, that appears to be what happened.
Yeah, I feel like that that might just be a test server thing, because that would be pretty brutal. Like imagine, I mean, Drop Bear, you're playing in Diamond, right? Like, how would that make you feel to have to go back to getting at least bronze rewards for 2 weeks?
Well, I don't think it would bother me too much because then I know that each time the level, if I've got it right, when I was looking at the chest levels, each time you increase, you earn more chest every time you increase. So as you were going along, that first season, you will earn much more reward chests as you're going along because you'll be able to keep going up through the levels. So when it gets to, like, say, you end the season, and like you were saying how it gets in the one part of the season, you'll be stuck in that one season. So your level of chest amount of rewards you be getting won't be as much constantly, or you'll have to travel as quick as you possibly can back to that to get the same amount of rewards. So you'll get obviously a lot less chest. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm positive that's what's going on. Yeah.
Well, Nick in the chat just said, and hopefully they're right. Matt said in the town hall they would not set everyone back, which I was listening to the town hall on 2 speed, so I may have just missed that. Because that would just be kind of ridiculous. I feel like it's so hype what they're doing with all these reward changes, but I feel like that would just kind of take the wind out of their sails, right? It's like, oh, all these reward changes are coming, and then guess what? Everyone's back in bronze. Like, I think that would ruin, honestly, the launch of this whole thing. So it sounds like that's not going to happen. So I think wherever you guys are going to decide to finish this season is where your rewards are going to be for next season, which is a little bit worrying for me because I decided to go up for gold when I saw the DEC prices go up or rewards go up. I don't know how much of a bump you guys noticed where you're playing, but pretty much like at 24 hours after the reward changes went live for DEC, it was like a 2 to 3x of what I was getting before. I don't know if you guys noticed that too.
Yeah,
I
did.
It's interesting as well because it kind of gives you an idea of the magnitude or the scale of the bots that might have been using starter cards, and maybe not just bots, but also alternate accounts as well that maybe didn't own cards that have been siphoning DEC from other players that are own the cards or renting the cards. So yeah, but the good news there, Luke, is you can probably expect to see those reward levels in chess in the next ranked reward season, and you'll have multipliers at gold for DEC. So even if you don't earn as many chess, maybe the first season, if you stay in silver and earn reward shares there, the chess that you do earn should be very meaningful from a content perspective. So it should pay itself off.
Yeah, I mean, that would be an interesting thing. I think Rogue last week, let me pull up the stats. He was saying silver estimated value chest was about half of what gold is. So it's like as long as you're getting at least half the chest of gold, you're still going to make up for it in the estimated value. You're going to come out even. And if you can do better than half of gold chest than silver, then you're coming out on top. But Dropper, I'm curious for you and Diamond, what kind of DEC were you getting?
Well, see, lately because of them changes coming, I used to not play my account as much, but I was grinding my account for like days and days trying to get into champion. And then I'm like, this is just not going to be worth it for me. I just got to play where I'm at, like I explained. That's how I explained. So my capture rate went way down. So I couldn't actually tell you how much it changed. I'd like around about doubled though. So, if it was last week or the week after, I could let you know. But at the moment, no, because like I said, I tried to make some changes. It didn't work the plan, but that's all good. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that it bumped up that much. I mean, I know Cryptmancer, you're talking about like how much these bot farmers actually have, some of them thousands of accounts. But it was like, realistically, if they're playing their ECR all the way down, they're not earning that much DEC. But I guess it's like, if there truly is maybe like a 200,000 to 300,000 bot farm total, and they're all even taking, 1 or 2 DEC a day, that's, I guess, a pretty large portion of the pool. Like, I didn't expect it to be that much. I don't know about you, Cryptmancer.
Yeah, I mean, let's say there's anywhere between 200 to 300,000 bots, if we can agree on that as a range, which not everyone will agree on, but let's just say for hypothetical, reasons or scenario that's the case, that's, half the player base or more than half the player base, even if they maybe are running, and I think they're probably optimizing the bots to maximize their rewards. They're probably not running ECR down to 0. They might be running their bot, once every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes or something like that. So, if you extrapolate that over 200 to 300,000 accounts, that's a big chunk of the DEC reward pool that we have available right now. So if all of a sudden that is being reduced by 100% to maybe 60%, depending on how many starter cards they might have. That's pretty significant.
Yeah, I mean, I think the real question begins to be asked, like, is this going to be a permanent change? Are we going to see, maybe some of these bot farms wake up and realize, oh, I need to go buy or rent some cards, and so it's going to be split again? I don't know. It seems like there's going to be a shrinkage, and I don't know, maybe even on Peak Monsters, has it shown any decrease in player activity or account activity? Let's see if we can look it up.
I haven't checked recently, but I have seen some interesting activity where I've seen known bot farmers buying Chaos Legion packs and flipping some of the cards there. So it looks like maybe some of them are acquiring some cards to use moving forward. So I think, no one will know. I mean, every bot farm owner is probably in a little bit different scenario, using maybe different bots or having different starting points. But what we can probably assume is that they will adapt, and for the most part, they're free rolling. So anything they do is on house money. So if they can find a way to make it work, and instead of maybe running 10,000 bots, maybe they run 5,000 bots to start, and have some reduced earnings, and maybe instead of dumping those cards on the market, maybe they keep the cards for the accounts and slowly build up those accounts and build more accounts. So we'll see over time what actually happens. But bots are part of the ecosystem. They're part of Splinterlands, and they're going to do what they're going to do. And for us as players, we just need to I guess play our game and do what we can with our accounts. So
yeah. So I'm looking it up. It looks like accounts in the last, I mean, it's only been a couple days, so it's probably not enough data to actually tell. But on the 23rd, there was 383,000 players active, and then 365 as of yesterday. And then the amount of battles actually, I think, took about a 180,000 dip. So that to me makes me feel like at least some bot farms are shutting down or consolidating. That's really interesting. Drop here. I want to get your thoughts. You haven't been on to talk about the whole bot debate. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
What I'm aware of, that the bot can't play above gold, because I experimented a little bit with one or two just to see what it would do, and I figured that it usually wouldn't go above gold unless someone else has made a different type of bot that actually can play in champion or diamond. It's not going to be as profitable for them as them. So is that the debate is more like, so what, they're just going to run more, double? I'm confused there too. So unless they come up with a different structure on being able to win in the higher leagues, I think it's going to be not as good for the bots per se. That's why they've obviously done this change, isn't it? So
yeah, and I think Steve said his bots end up in diamond, but I'm assuming that's like at the very end of the season, and that probably takes all season to get there, which is, if you have to play that many games and you're not having a very high win rate, then there goes most of your rewards when those changes go live.
But yeah, it could be. It's just a thing is, like you said, as they buy more cards, it might make the bots be able to compete higher too. So it could be just their card limit and power. So their goals might be different now. It might be more of the lines on buy up all the cards as you see the price rise in all the cards.
Well, and we've seen prices on cards, we were talking about this earlier, rise up like crazy. And I'm curious if you guys think, in the chat thinks, do you guys think it's a lot of players now FOMOing now that they see, oh, these rewards are coming, the DEC is double, tripled, like I'm going to be willing to put more in now? Or do you think it's mostly just these bot farms, being caught off guard, not having the cards and rushing out to go grab some? What do you think?
The column A and the column B. Sorry, you're right. Keep going, my bad.
Oh, good. No, go ahead. Drop here.
Yeah, that's all I had to say. Bit of column A and a bit of column B. I'm not really a numbers guy per se, so I don't check over everything.
Yeah. What about you, Cryptmancer?
I think it's probably a bit of both. Again, not every bot program or bot farm is the same. There's different qualities. There's different, baselines. So I think it just depends. But yeah, I think it's probably a little bit of both. And if you look at the market volume, we've been at 100,000 or more than 100,000 in market volume for sales of cards for the last probably week or so. And if you recall, in the kind of untamed glory days of like fall of 2021, just maybe 6 months ago or so, maybe like 8 to 9 months ago. That was the same volume we had during the peak of that period. So it's pretty significant change in activity there. So these are all positive signs, I think, generally speaking, for Splinterlands, and it really could start to snowball into something bigger potentially. So that's why I'm crossing my fingers here. It's kind of a double-edged sword, honestly,
Yeah.
because for me, I don't have the cards that I need or want. So I was really hoping for more time before the SPS airdrop done to
Yeah.
acquire Chaos Legion cards.
It's killing me. It's killing me.
It
It's like
is.
fingers crossed it goes up. I'm like, oh, but like I still don't have all these things that I wanted, and I thought there'd be more time, especially the way the crypto market is. And now all these cards are running up on us. I'm like, at least I got the ones I did, but it's like, man, if you're not at the level you want, and I guess that's your point, Drop Bear, is like, really, is there a level that you're ever like you've arrived? I guess unless you're like Steve, who's like, I literally have all pretty much the assets that you can own, except for some of the older ones. So I don't know. Yeah, I agree, Cryptmancer. It's kind of like, yay, but like, aw, like this kind of sucks. I wanted more time to go build up my deck.
Yeah, it's actually been an interesting exercise for me. I kind of find it a little bit fun, and I don't know if anyone else would consider it fun, but I've gone back through my cards where picked up some cards for investment previously, and they've appreciated in value. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm just selling those to buy the cards that I need for the deck level that I want. So it's kind of like trading, apples for oranges in my deck and kind of shuffling the chairs around the ship deck, so to speak. But it's not ideal, right? I mean, no one wants to necessarily buy cards in a ascending market, but you kind of have to look at it to say you have to hedge your bets a little bit. You don't want to buy everything you need right now because the market could certainly go down again. But at the same time, if it continues to go up, you don't want to be left on the sidelines saying, man, I wish I would have bought a week ago because now the prices have doubled again. So it's kind of a hedging scenario. One thing we
Yeah.
also have to be aware of is if Bitcoin trends sideways, for a while or even goes up, chances are Splinterland's assets will continue to go up just because of all the news and changes that are coming in the roadmap. But if Bitcoin tanks and drops below support levels, then we should have another buying opportunity in cards, I would think.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to compare BTC. I mean, everything in the crypto market is linked, and Lucas in the chat's saying SPS can go down another 80% with the market deteriorating, but cards might hold up, and it's kind of like an interesting thing is like because cards allow you to play in the game, maybe it's less affected by the rest of the crypto market and more so just kind of in the ecosystem of Splinterlands in general. But I essentially, to respond to William in the chat, what I mean about not having what I need, it's not really a need, it's just a want. It's like I want to have more leveled up cards. I want to have, a max silver level deck is my goal, but I also want a gold level summoner so that I can, play and compete in gold level. So it's just like, it's more about like, I want more cards in general. And I think the nice thing is that essentially we should always be capped by the pack opening value being around $4, at least in my opinion, because if the cards, the individual cards get too high of a price, then why would you go buy individual cards? Just go buy packs. You're going to get the airdrop points. Let's say somehow ridiculously it became, hey, on average, every pack you open is going to be worth $5. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to go buy $4 packs to get airdrop points. You can just sell the cards and keep doing that, right? So I think that will always kind of keep us in line a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Drop Bear, what about you? Are you buying more cards? Are you buying more packs? What's kind of your strategy
I
going
haven't
forward?
really been buying many packs. I buy a few every now and again just for the fun of the sake of opening one or two or do a giveaway or something. But other than that, no. I was buying a lot of them to start off with. But by saying that, like from when I watched, was it DICE, they did the same thing. As soon as DICE sold out, the price of everything increased so much. I know it's a bit away and it will be a while away, but when that does happen, then cards are going to be worth a lot more. So, maybe I should get a few and just put them away for later. You just sort of know what I mean.
Yeah. What's your perspective? We kind of ask everyone here on the podcast. There's this kind of different duality of some people are like really focused on I'm here more for the investment side, for the potential earnings. And then there's other people who are like, oh, I don't really care about nodes and SPS and all that. Just like I want to play the dang game, right? So like where are you at on that scale drop there?
I'm more play the game, if you understand what I mean. So like usually if I got a pack there, I open it to make my deck stronger, you know. So if I was more from investment side, every pack that I brought, I would have held for the SPS rewards, if you understand what I mean, because that would have been a smarter play. But no, I just usually can't help myself and open it. Like a child in a candy store, if you get me. Like, yes, get to open it.
Yeah, I'm horrible at holding on to my packs. Cryptmancer, do you still have any packs you haven't opened?
I do.
Wow, so much more patient.
Yeah, I opened some recently just to try and get my summoners leveled up for Diamond/Champion, which was painful because I did want to open packs. But I'm still holding some, waiting for legendary summoners to come out, so to take advantage of that. I'm trying to be patient, but it's hard. So I've been trying, like I said, I've been trying right now just to sell older cards that I have that have appreciated to exchange them for Chaos Legion cards I need at the moment.
Yeah, I hear you there. Let's see. Phoenix Rising wants to know about validator nodes. We haven't even talked about that. The nodes selling out. What was it like? I think the pre-sale went out in 10 minutes. Was it?
11 minutes, yeah.
11 minutes, which is wild because I think just that alone, what was it? Something like 8 million SPS or 8. How much was it? I can't remember. They announced it in the Discord. It was like millions of SPS were essentially going to be burned.
We burned 1 million vouchers in the pre-sale, and the Splinterlands. I mean, not the company, but I guess it would be $4 million in assets. Is basically what flowed into the ecosystem in that 11 minutes. So it's pretty significant.
Yeah, okay. I saw Chatter's announcement. I guess it was 18 million SPS taken out of circulation, which I know there's going to be eventually 3 billion SPS, but there's not 3 billion SPS right now. So I know I'm not one of those people who are like, oh, SPS is going to the moon right away and, tomorrow, like, stack your bags. But for me, I'm like, I mean, I want to have a decent amount to play in tournaments and stuff. And, I don't know if it's going to really mean anything for a vote or anything like that with my probably measly amount compared to others. But it's pretty crazy that they're, I feel like now hitting on a lot of things that they said they were going to do, but the last couple months it felt like, oh my gosh, is it ever going to get here? And now it's like, well, things are starting to roll out like they said they were going to make happen. I don't know, did either of you guys buy a node?
I did.
No, I didn't get one.
You did, Manser?
I did, and the reason why is because, I was looking at, from a investment perspective, Gala nodes back in, I think, January of this year, so not too long ago. And at the time, I think it was like $9,000 for a Gala node, and I was like, man, this is so expensive. I don't want to invest this kind of money. I don't know. And then literally, like, just when the Splinterlands validator nodes were announced, I guess a month and a half ago, I mean, Gala nodes were selling around $80,000. So, and that's just in 4 or 5 months. That's the appreciation. Now, granted, you can't sell a Gala node, but that's what you have to get in. That's what you have to pay for right now. So when the game that I know and love in Splinterlands says, hey, we're going to take some of the modeling of Gala nodes and build that into our own node system, and we're going to offer them here, for me, that's just a no-brainer. Even if, for example, in the grand scheme of things, I didn't believe in the nodes and I didn't want vouchers and I didn't want SPS passively, I'd still probably do it just to support the decentralization of the game. Mm-hmm. But with the potential for Splinterlands to be successful and for this to explode like Gala nodes in the future, it's just an opportunity I couldn't pass up.
Yeah. Dropper, you said you passed up on it, like me.
Yeah, I didn't invest in that, no.
What was the reasoning for you?
I just, like I said, I play it more from a game standard. So, where that technology side of it and making it decentralized is good, because I understand that, because I used to do a lot of mining, if you understand what I mean. So I do understand, by doing that, but it was just something I'm not really focused on or I wanted to get into, do it more for fun, if you know what I mean, a bit of spare time and stuff. So it was not an investment side, but it probably would be a smart investment by seeing everything that Splinterlands does. Usually it increases by price, especially with the pre-sale of things. But yeah, that was my opinion on it.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. It's like, even if I did have the funds, I just love playing so much that I'd probably focus still on leveling up my deck. But I can see the appeal of owning one and just getting all that passive income and stuff. And Phoenix Rising in the chat was like, if SPS is getting burned, why did it go down? Well, I think, in my opinion, I don't know if you guys have the same opinion, but I think a lot of people were buying up SPS and vouchers to essentially go to buy one of these nodes. And so now that the initial hype of the beginning of the sale is over, I don't think there's as much demand for SPS and vouchers currently. But once we get further along the road, I'm sure there'll be another demand for more nodes later on, but probably not right now.
Yeah, and I think the market, you can't look at the market on an hourly or a daily basis unless you're a day trader, which I guess if you're a day trader of SPS, then you're probably an adrenaline junkie, because it's a lot of ups and downs. But what's interesting, if you look at the long-term picture here, we had 18 million SPS burned out of existence, which are never coming back. So it's a deflationary aspect of the game. And yes, it's not a huge amount in the grand scheme of things, because there's right now 764 million SPS in circulation. So it's a small percentage of the overall SPS pool. But here's what you also have to look at is what is the market doing besides burning SPS, which is a positive, net positive on the price. You've got the total staked SPS. If you look at the SPS dashboard within the game itself, has increased to over 400 million SPS is staked right now and locked up in earning SPS staking rewards. And that's well over 50% of the SPS tokens in circulation. So the total liquid SPS is actually decreased now to 364 million. And that ratio from a pure like crypto, coin or token perspective is pretty unheard of. It's very rare that you have, I think, a utility token like this where more than 50% is staked. So that bodes well also for the future of SPS, and we'll have to see. I mean, long term, I'm very bullish on SPS and really think it has a great future.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're worried about it in the next couple months, even, like, I just don't think that's the play. I think, like, if you really care about SPS price, then you shouldn't really worry about what it does for the next until you really want to take value out of it, maybe 2 to 3, 4 years down the road. So I'm not worried about it personally. But we have a fun card question here. Decision, guys. Okay, so you have to decide for this person. Financialadviceonly.com right here. Here we go. Got a gold Queen Mycelia. Do I sell it and buy a regular one and then buy more packs? Drop Bear, come to you first. What would you do if you pull a gold Queen Mycelia, which I don't even know how much is that worth right now?
It's a hard decision, because later it would be worth a great deal more, like if you wait. But if your deck was not leveled up to a level that you wanted it to be, I'd increase my summoners instead, and I would get rid of it, and I wouldn't worry about the gold card for now, because I want to be competitive in the league that I'm going to be in. But if I was in a different situation where I didn't have to do that, I'd be keeping that gold card.
Yeah, so I just looked it up. It is $135 for the gold version and about $17 right now for the normal. So you'd be pocketing about $115 if they did that swapperoo. Although, a gold foil is automatically level 2, right? Where if you technically still want a gold or a level 2 Mycelia, I don't know what level you're playing at. That's going to cost you
Someone
53.
from my guild, though. Sorry to interrupt you, mate. Someone from my guild got the same like gold Mycelia. What they did with theirs is they actually rent theirs out, then use the profits to hire more cards to push them into a higher league. and that's what they were doing. And they think they usually reach champion. So that's another strategy you could attempt to use as well.
Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if this is rentable at this price, but someone's trying to rent theirs out for 96 DEC. Actually, that looks pretty common.
Yeah, because it's you get a decent amount for renting it. So the amount of deck you would collect from renting it, you could hire more cards and push in a higher level. Depends if you'd want to own them or the other, but if it was me, I'd own it. So there you got 3 different options. So I didn't really answer the question, did I?
Well, I mean, you answered it in a way of, here's the 2 things to think about, which I like that. Give them some options. Three, yeah. Cryptmancer, what would you do?
Yeah, I mean, just like if you're a consultant, the answer is it depends, right? It depends on where you're at in the game, what kind of capital you're looking to invest in the short term, et cetera, et cetera. But generally speaking, if we can assume that the player is new to the game and maybe playing at the bronze or silver level, what I would probably say is you have 2 choices. One is to keep the card and use it, because in the modern format, when it comes out, that one card by itself will allow you to compete at almost the silver 3 level. Well, I guess it will allow you to compete at silver 3, almost the silver 2 level, because the league CPU requirements will go down. So silver 2 will become 20,000 at that point. So you're more than halfway to silver 2 with just that one card. But and that can be meaningful. If you don't want to rent or you don't have the CP to compete in silver, that helps a lot, because that could cost you money over time, and while you're holding it, you're certainly hopefully getting appreciation in the card value itself. But if let's say you're playing in gold right now, or you're playing in silver right now and you have the CP through reward cards, and that $135 could get you max out your silver level summoners, or get one or two of your summoners closer to gold level, then again, you might want to, take it and reinvest that money and put it to use where you can earn higher rewards over the long term, which you think will beat the appreciation of that card in the future. So, and then obviously that card's going to rent very well moving forward. So, it's hard to give up passive rental income. So it's, again, it depends, but good news is those are all great options to have, and congratulations on that poll.
I mean, you guys forgot option 4, though.
What's 4?
Just give it to me.
No, send it to me, not you. Oh man, I mean I think the best pull I've ever gotten from a pack was a gold foil Grund, sorry, and that was back when it was like $60. But I had a rare scenario where someone offered me 2 ancient liches for it, which at the time I think were $40 each. So I pocketed one lich and sold the other for $40 and went to buy other cards. So I don't know. I think it definitely depends. Like if you're like, I need to get more cards, like I want to level up my summoners or deck, then it's not a bad decision. I mean, I think everyone's gonna say gold foils are gonna be worth more down the road. Well, yeah, of course. But think about if this is actually leveling up your deck, then you're going to be getting more rewards now. So could that outweigh it? Maybe. I mean, the interesting thing is, I don't know how much you guys are focusing on gold cards, because now the gold foil cards not only are going to affect your DEC wins, it's going to affect our season and daily chests, right? So has that changed your guys' strategy as well, now that I'm thinking about it, for buying more gold foils?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely something that you would consider hopefully earlier than now, because the gold foil prices have pretty much doubled for Gas Legion in the last couple days. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So if you're buying gold foil cards right now, you're definitely paying a premium. And the question you have to ask is that whatever, I think it's like 10%, I forget the exact percentage boost per gold foil card you're getting, is that percentage to rank reward shares worth the extra dollars that you're paying for those cards? So you have to do some cost analysis there. And also remember that for the same dollar amount, if you could get the regular foil card at your level to a higher level with maybe like 1 extra health or 1 extra speed or an additional attack or an ability, winning a game is worth 100% of the reward shares. Losing a game is worth 0. So 10% of 0 is 0. So you don't want to sacrifice winning games for 10% bonuses. So you also have to keep that in mind.
That's some good math right there. I like that. 10% of 0 is still 0. Drop Air, for how about for you? Are you focused on gold foil cards at all, or are you mostly just normal?
As I said before, that I increased, so I had a more competitive deck with the changes coming. I sold majority of my gold summoners because I had gold summoners compete in the gold guild battles and stuff. So I sold them to buy more normal summoners. So mine was it was more this level in the deck so I can be more competitive in the league that is coming out.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing because I feel like I've heard more people say the opposite of like, hey, I'm gonna go focus on my gold foil collection now that it's gonna affect how many chests I get daily and season end rewards. But you guys are convincing me though. The whole 10% of 0 is still 0%. I think there's validity maybe to both sides of the argument. It just kind of depends on what level you're playing at. I mean, if you're like already silver, I don't know. Like, do you go for more silver gold foil cards, or do you like, hey, I'm just gonna really power up and get to gold? So I don't know. That's an interesting thing. I think we're all gonna have to start testing out. But for me, I'm just like, well, I want to also play in tournaments, and in tournaments, it doesn't really matter if your card is gold foil or not. It just matters what level it is. So I'd rather get more money out of my cards and be able to buy more cards than having to buy a bunch of gold foils. But we got a newbie question here. So bronze 3 player looking to rent some cards to make it to silver. What cards should I rent, or should I go out and buy individual cards? If so, what? Any advice for a new player?
I just dropped the video like probably about 20 minutes beforehand on the bronze one. The death team, I like using them 2 life leech cards out of the death team. I forget what they're actually called. Like it says, hard for me to remember the names. I like using them with like a fawns in the front and 2 0 cost cards. And usually they spam that and it just gets you out of bronze quickly.
There you go. Cryptmancer, any other ones?
Yeah, I mean, with bronze, I mean, you can't go wrong with Mylor, right? To get your way the top of bronze or past bronze. So that's still a great card. And it's pretty affordable, I think, still to rent. Moving forward, I don't know what's going to happen with the rental prices. But for now, for sure, you can definitely rent for literally probably less than a penny or maybe a penny a day and do just fine to get to the top of bronze without issue.
Yeah, I think I almost don't want to recommend it anymore because I know modern and wild format is coming around the corner. And I'm like, okay, all my strategies mostly focus on wild because everyone that I've told for bronze is like, okay, just go rent this Lorna Shine sneak attack, but it kind of relies on some of the older cards that won't be played in modern, or like Delwyn plus Oshawnis getting that extra, or Ulrich plus Oshawnis getting that extra magic damage for Oshawnis is just like so powerful in bronze. But then I'm like, well, you're only going to be able to use that for what, a couple more months maybe? We'll see. Maybe not even that. I don't know. I don't even know. How long do you guys think it will be till we get to that modern format?
2 to 4 weeks probably after the launch of Ranked Rewards, depending on how smooth it goes.
Yeah, so this might be time to focus on modern then for newer players. Like, I know it's going to be hard to practice modern when you're facing a bunch of wild players, but I don't know. Yeah, I like your strategy, Drop Bear. Where do you find that video? What's your channel? Is it just Drop Bear again?
Yeah, it's give me a second, I'll grab you a link.
Yeah, if you want to link it in the chat, might as well.
I think I just posted it. Where are we?
Okay, well, while you're getting that, I'll read off the next question. Another one. Phoenix Rising popping off with these questions today. I love it. Do you think rent prices will go up or down with the changes coming to rewards and with wild and modern? Whew.
Just dump it in the link.
Yeah, if it's not allowing you to, just send it to me in Discord. Send it to me in Discord, and then I'll put it in.
Oh, that's sweet.
Cryptmancer, I know you want to talk about the rental market. What are you thinking? Up, down, modern format? How's that going to maybe change it?
Yeah, I mean, right now, I think we're seeing the rental market today in the current time frame. It's probably down a little bit season over season, and we can probably theorize that might be due to the bots DEC earnings decreasing and them maybe not wanting to rent the CP potentially. I mean, we talked a little bit about that before stream on how that formula and math could actually work out, but it's all a theory, right? I mean, it's hard to say. But in the grand scheme of things, I think if this ranked rewards rework is successful, we will see rental prices increase and be more steady across the length of the season instead of just at the end of the season, because the um, it's a where it's the highest league you finish in, right? Is where you reset for the next season, and you want to always earn the most rank reward shares. So that means the higher you can compete, the better off you're going to be from a win and a reward share perspective. So I think the rental prices will increase because again, the reward values are increasing. So you're being incentivized to play the game and to climb higher and to use more advanced cards and all of that. So the flywheel is in motion to bring rental prices higher, but also the rewards should be higher as well, allowing you to afford some of those increased rental prices ideally. So that's my theory. We'll see how it all works out in the next couple of weeks. But if that does happen, then I think all of us as Splinterlands players will be happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think a potential strategy is like if you're saying and your theory is rental prices are most likely going to go up, as you said. I think one thing that you could do now, obviously rentals can be canceled, so that kind of sucks. But if you're like, man, I can't buy cards right now, what you can do is use Peak Monsters auto bids. Try to secure like some level up summoners or some like monsters that are your favorites, and you can get bids for fairly cheaper than what they are usually posted for. And if you can get it and maybe hope that it doesn't cancel, maybe you'll have some cards that last a couple months before they cancel it on you. I don't know. It depends. Maybe if we see all prices go up, then every owner just cancels all their cards anyways. I mean, who knows? Drop Bear, what do you think about the rental market? Do you use rentals at all? Do you instruct people about rentals in your videos?
I do use rentals sometimes. It just depends. I don't have a kitty yet, so I like renting kitty. Like it's quite effective. That especially if you're using like speed tactics and throw a couple of 3 or 4 speed ups in with that is really good, if you understand what I mean. So, but yeah. So there is some cards I'd like to rent sometimes, but it's only if I've got the extra there. If I don't, I'm quite happy just to keep playing what I'm playing. If you sort of get what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I think the other thing too is like if you're struggling to play, like rent some cards and test some things out, and then I think people for newer players, your life is going to get so much better for Modern and Wild, and we can debate like all the economy of that and like the doubling of the DC reward pool. What is that going to do? But I think one good thing that just comes out of it is for newer players, they can just stick to Modern format and don't have to focus on, the extra whatever 100 to 200 cards that aren't going to be in Modern. I don't know how many cards there were before that, but it just makes the game, I feel like, a lot more simple, or at least easier for newer players to get into. And so that's one of the things I'm excited for to see with Modern and Wild come out. Almost said Modern and Mild. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be really interesting. Any other thoughts about Modern and Wild that you guys are thinking about?
I think some good comments.
Sorry, you could go, mate.
Go ahead, Dropper. I was just going to say, I think there's a good comment in chat from Ivan talking about the rental prices predictions there, which is interesting. And what Ivan, I think, says there is that, it might be cheaper to rent once the Modern and Wild format is split to rent wild cards just because there's more of them and there may not be as many people competing at that level. So that's pretty good observation and theory there.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a potential world where it's mostly gold, diamond, champion level players playing in Wild, because if you think about it, they're going to be pretty heavily incentivized to go play in Wild because they have all the old cards. And guess what? Alpha and Beta, they give you bonuses as well as gold, the gold foils. So if you want more reward chests per season and you have, as a player, all those old cards, why wouldn't you play in Wild, right? So there could be a gap where maybe it is worth it as like a bronze or silver level player, as you said, to go get those wild cards or rent them out. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. Drop Bear, what were you going to say?
So does anyone know if? See, I'm still confused. I don't know if they're going to split it, because they are going to split them in two different formats, right? If we've got it in two different formats, does that mean we've actually get two different daily quests? And well, it's going to be called a daily focus now. So are we going to get two different daily focus, or is this going to be the one? Because we might have two. It might, but then our ECG gets hit or whatever.
So from what they've said, they in the town halls, and I don't think they've made an official post, but it is, you can play your daily focus. It's going to be the same. You can play in either format, but it's not like you get two different ECRs. So if you like play in one league and then you jump over to, from modern to wild, I don't think there's really much any advantage. I don't know, Critmancer, am I getting that right?
Sorry,
Yeah,
I mean daily focus. So say the daily focus, so there's, we get two of them, one for modern and one for wild. So, you get the 30. Do we get two of them focus or only the one?
Yeah, I think the chat is saying Matt's clarified that it's just one daily focus across both formats. I haven't heard that myself, but I haven't been keeping up on Mav chat necessarily.
Yeah, never.
But if that's the case, then you would, probably choose the format that you can be most successful at, or has the best reward per win ratio for your deck. I think what the more interesting question, though, is the daily focus. You can only earn so many chests regardless of what level you play at for daily chest rewards. So really, just play in whichever format is more rewarding for you and you have the most success at. But the bigger question is end of season rewards. If the end of season reward pool is completely separate, which the indications are that it would be, meaning you'd have end of season rewards for where you finish in wild formats and end of season where you finish in modern formats, well, that can allow you to double dip on end of season reward chests. So it could make it so that as a player, go ahead, Luke.
Oh, I thought they said they weren't going to do that.
Well,
that's what I've understood from the town halls, is that you're just going to have one end of season rewards.
Oh, no. Cool.
Is it just going to reward you the highest level that you finish at then?
I think so, unless they've changed it with the new reward changes, but I'm pretty sure from what I've understood, and I guess, again, maybe they should really just put out a post. I guess we're too far away from modern format before they really explain the whole thing. But from what I've heard in the town halls previously, maybe chat can correct us and maybe verify, but it seems like you have one daily focus, you have one end of season chest. It's just going to depend on which format you finish higher in.
Yep. Well, that'd be interesting. And I think we'll get to that level of clarity once the rank boards comes out and they can start focusing on, publishing the article on modern versus wild. But if for some reason there are the ability to earn two end of season rewards, depending on where you're finished, that would be a game changer potentially. So we have to keep an eye on that clarification.
No. All right, we have some more questions pouring in. Do you guys know anything about totems? Someone said they bought a plot of land and was wondering what you think about totems. I have a totem gifted to me from Steve. I literally don't know hardly anything about him though. So I don't know if do two of you guys know anything about him?
I would say right now totems are pretty speculative as far as what bonuses or benefits they'll provide, as well as, what value you should put on them, just because we don't know those levels of details. The whole land economy is too much of an unknown. That being said, there's been some interesting developments from at least a lore perspective. So if you've listened to one of the recent lore videos, I think it was Betrayer on the official Splinterlands YouTube channel, they were specifically talking about land plots and totems in that lore story, which is interesting how they're linking the whole, game mechanics to the lore. But what the reason why I say the additional speculative aspect of totems is unlike land plots are fixed. There's only, so many land plots in existence, and there's not going to be more of them. Totems, we know that there's going to be a certain amount that you can actually essentially mine from the land. So the totem supply is not fixed. So depending on the drop and the rarity and what it takes to get totems off land and how many total totems are still left to be mined versus bought, again, it's very speculative in nature. So just be aware of that. Land plots, while also speculative in nature, have a fixed number. So that's just my 2 cents.
I actually didn't even know that about totems, that we were going to see more in the future. That's kind of cool. Drop Bear, do you have any totems or land, or is that not a worry for you?
They released that there was half the amount of totems got released in the first pack sale, and then the other half totems will be found on the land, like you said. But so they're saying there's no number to it now, are they?
Yeah, I don't know if it's 50% or if there's a fixed number at this point.
I mean, either way, there will be more, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Correct?
That's like in the fine print there. I'm positive it said there could be more land as well.
I mean, they made it sound like there isn't going to be, at least for this game. But, I mean, who knows? If we all want to vote on it with the SBS validators and tell them to make more land, I guess they could.
Yeah, no, it seems like it would be good once they integrate all the land play. But what in the big scheme of things, that's not for a while. What is that? At the end of the year, it's meant to be now. Got pushed back, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna, before like land is even usable, we're almost 9 to 12 months out is my guess, and so I feel like you're gonna have plenty of time if you're really concerned about totems to pick them up later on. I could be wrong because I don't listen to my financial advice, but I feel like there's probably better things you could be picking up. But maybe at the same time, no one cares about them right now, so maybe they're cheap. I don't even know what the prices are, so don't ask me, I guess.
I did hear as well that they apparently, what is it? Is there like a certain amount of cards you're able to attach to your land, and the higher the level of the card, the more reward you'll get for your land?
Yeah, and totems are the bonus of it, right?
Yeah, the totems can be attached as well. But like I said, you can find them in there, so...
Yeah, I just think overall we're so far out, kind of as you said, Cryptmancer, like it's so speculative right now that I don't think there's much reason to worry about it. Maybe if they put out some more information, we might see more people FOMO to it, but I don't think they're going to put out information about totems probably until like maybe the end of this year. Don't you guys think? That would be my guess.
Yeah, I mean they're still designing a lot of that, so we'll see more details soon, I'm sure. But if you've got money burning a hole in your pocket, you can certainly look at totems. But I think, as you mentioned, there's probably other assets with more defined paths to appreciation right now than totems. But again, with all investments, sometimes the most speculative investments yield the highest returns. So you just never know.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you go to the casino, right, baby? Just gamble it. Put your money on red. Second part of the question, any reason to burn cards? I mean, not really, unless the price of them have fallen under like the DC worth, I guess. I know some people have burned their gladiator cards because you can't sell them.
I think that went down or something, because I noticed the rate of burn went down probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the amount of card power you had for holding the Gladius cards went down as well for some reason. I'm unsure what happened there.
Did they really? I haven't seen that.
It slightly went down. And the burn rate. Yeah.
Just as I was about to burn all my gladiator cards.
You'll end up needing them, though.
I'm just kidding.
You'll need them. Take forever to max one of them things out.
Yeah. All right.
Well, isn't there meant to become an SDS to gladiate to guilds and stuff? It's meant to be able to earn in the guild battles. Apparently, SBS that's like a pass thing that I heard. Is that still going to be happening? Well, you got no idea.
Yeah, I mean, there is going to be the play to earn aspect with SPS, and it sounds like they said guild battles, but it probably won't be for a while. It sounds like the guilds, from what they've said, is not high on the priority list, so I don't expect any changes probably for like, I don't know, 3 to 4 or 5 months maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
Cool.
All right, well, we got a couple more questions. If anyone else wants to throw any in the chat, we can, but we'll probably wrap up in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Feeling tired, so I want to cut this one a little bit shorter tonight and go hang out with my wife. But what do you guys think? Lorna Shine for a summoner. My opinion, OP.
Yeah, I love Lorna Shine. I wish I had her at a level I could use her. I just had one PCX of her, so it's not really usable, but yeah. It's a great card. I think from the dice set, the most valuable would probably be Mylor, and Lorna's right up there is probably a two, number two. Just so good, so good, so
Yeah.
so meta.
I mean, let's just say I rent to every single tournament a Lorna level 2 or level 4, depending on if it's bronze or silver, unless it's the Chaos Legion tournament only, of course. But every other tournament, it's like, okay, I only have a level 1, so I have to go rent this, or I know I'm going to lose potentially 1, 2, or 3 matches that I could have won. But I don't know. Drop Bear, your thoughts?
I haven't really experienced it and even rented it. Maybe I should rent her and try her out then. I've
You've
heard.
never played with Lorna?
No, I don't play with Lorna. Never did. Never
You're
have.
killing me.
Yeah, so I know I might have to try it out. So I'm not on the fence about it. So I could give an opinion. So I don't really have an opinion because I don't.
Do you play in tournaments at all?
No, I don't actually.
Okay. That's what I was gonna say. In tournaments, man, if you don't have Lorna, it can be brutal sometimes. It's especially good. So in wild format for tournaments, it's like you can run that sneak attack strategy with the Silver Shield Knight with Inspire and just buff up melee of your entire team. And then even if it's not wild format, it's still like anything under 20 mana, just having that divine protection, giving extra defense to your whole team. I think it's just super good for low mana. I see it used all the time for that.
Yeah, one of your shots miss each monster attack, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we think of Lorna. I'm sure we're going to see a Lorna price pump in the next 20 minutes. Everyone go buy some more. Let's see. What is modern and wild affect tournaments or even daily quests? Yes and yes. So the one thing I'm personally excited about, let's just talk about like what are we most excited about. One of the things I'm most excited about is finally in these stupid tournaments, we're actually going to get a true modern format, because right now there's no way to put the new reward cards separate from the old reward cards. So in tournaments, you either have people that can use old reward cards that are just, a bajillion dollars worth, or you have to take them all away, which is super annoying because we're all used to playing with, our Shaunus or Pelacor Conjurer, or, name your favorite reward card, Chihuahua, another one. So that's one thing I'm excited for. It will affect tournaments going forward. But any other things you guys are excited for Modern and Wild?
I would just say the increased DEC reward earning opportunities in Wild. I think it was brought up in chat as well that we're essentially playing in Wild format today. So if you're doing all right in that format as it exists today, you'll be fine in Wild moving forward, and it'll balance itself out with the rewards. But generally speaking, if you can do really well in Wild, you'll probably earn more DEC moving forward, which is nice.
Yeah, Drop Bear, for you, what are some things you're excited for?
There's a lot, I just I'm sort of lost for words, and I lost my train of thought, mate.
Well, I'll link you to the next question then. Since you're a diamond player, maybe you have perspective. Okay. Someone else asked, is Modern versus Wild too early? There are issues with matchmaking, Champion, and Diamond already. Do we have enough high-level players to split them? I don't really know that because I'm playing in Silver and Gold. Are you guys worried about not having enough matches up in Diamond and Champion if they split to 2 different leagues?
I don't think that will happen. I think that would make it so we had enough battles. I don't see that. Yeah, I wouldn't see it happening.
How long does it take you guys to get a battle up in Diamond?
Pretty quick.
So no issue. Maybe it's just Ivan. Sorry, Ivan, your internet's just bad.
Maybe that's the problem. As you get up, you notice you start just facing the same people constantly, though.
Sure.
If you sort of know what I mean, you get sort of you notice you start facing more of the same people constantly, and all the same guilds, if you understand, because everyone usually up there usually has guilds.
I mean, the nice thing probably for if you're in Diamond or Champion, if they split into 2 different categories and there really isn't that many people, then maybe potentially people will have more of a shot at the leaderboards, right? Because they're gonna, I think they're gonna have both leaderboards as far as I know, unless they take them away.
Well, that'd be a good thing. Yeah, you'll have double the amount of chances to get there then. What is it? There's the top 100, isn't it? Or is it top 50 or top 20?
I don't know. Silver, they only pay like 25 people. It's pretty bad.
I never usually get that close. I usually skip to the next league up as soon as I can get to it.
Yeah. Cryptmancer, you're kind of the number, financial guru. I'll give you that title here today. Are you worried at all about now having the DEC pool doubled with these formats coming out here in a month? One thing I've been thinking about is like, okay, if DEC is supposed to be pegged and it's kind of backed by the packs, if we doubled the DEC pool, maybe packs will be purchased more because that's really the only thing that's going to be holding that peg. That was one thought I had, but I don't know. Have you had any concerns about the DEC pool going to be doubled here?
No, not really. I mean, so I've done some analysis. There's a video on my channel talking about DEC deep dive that talks about the numbers of DEC outstanding, and that takes into account DEC in circulation that's been printed over the last 9 months or 10 months. And remember, during much of that time period, DEC was being printed at a very fast rate just because of the algorithmic nature of the coin. So there's a lot of DEC printed, and even with all that DEC printed, the value is such where it's really not going to make that much of a dent in, the Chaos Legion pack sales, for example, with DEC. So I'm not really concerned. Also, Matt talked about it on Splinterlands TV stream the other day. The DEC reward pool for battles is separate from the DEC reward pool for loot chests, which I didn't actually realize that they were separate. So what's probably more, if you're concerned about the modern versus wild split doubling the DEC reward pool, you're probably even more concerned at that point about the champion level chest having a 48x multiplier on DEC chest rewards. So that's probably more inflationary to DEC than anything else.
Yeah, and I think, as I said before, like if it really falls below peg, then more people are just going to buy packs. So I think they're probably not really worried about it since we've stalled out on pack sales. Maybe that's something that's going to really help make the push anyways. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but only time will tell, I guess. All right, let's see. Any other questions coming in? Seen people playing with Ancient Lich and Cthulhu, or however you say it, for the last day or so. Seems like the bot accounts may have gone that route. Seems pretty meta. Thoughts? I haven't noticed any uptick in Ancient Lich and Cthulhu, but there's not that many out there, so I don't really know how many bot accounts would even be able to buy one right now. I don't know. Have you guys noticed any changes in meta or bot accounts buying different cards?
I guess the question is, what level are they seeing that? I think
Yeah.
in the last 48 hours, I've only run across Cthulhu like twice at Diamond. So I'm not seeing it at that level, but maybe at silver, or gold, or bronze, maybe it's being present more, especially if it's only a 1 BCX version. I don't know. I'd have to look at the stats of the card. I know Fire Spitter was a bot exclusive kind of card in the last meta for silver. Bronze,
I mean, there's only 21 cards available and literally 1,400 total of Cthulhu. So there's only a possible amount of bots. About 1,000 of them could potentially even have one. Yeah, 6,000 liches out there. So I don't know. That's interesting that they're noticing that. I haven't seen anything. That's funny. Let's see. Yuki, not enough champ players takes too long. So it sounds like maybe not in Diamond drop area that people are having problems, but more so in Champion people are having issues with matchmaking, seems like. Do you guys ever get up in Diamond? Do you guys ever get matched up against like high rating Champion players just because there's not enough
all the time
to pair you against? Yeah.
All the time. It's good when you beat someone in Champion though, because you get a much higher rating. Instead of getting like your 25 or your 10, you'll get like 30, 40, or 50, especially if they're much higher than you, like say if they're in the 4,000s instead of the threes.
Yeah. Yeah, there was that like weird period of Splinterlands like a month ago where it was like everyone was getting matched against ratings that weren't even close to each other. I don't know, at least some accounts experienced that. But I could see in Diamond and Champion that being more of an issue than other places.
It's fine though, because you all cards are unlocked, so you all have the same amount of cards.
Yeah.
Ability, if you know what I mean. So yeah.
Let's see. What are your favorite summoners to use in Diamond Drop Air? Ooh.
In go-to? Like I like that kitty. I like Quicks and Devious, even though a lot of people think he's underrated. I like him. And I like the just the normal. See, I'm bad with names. Terrible with names.
What kind? What do they do?
I'm pulling it up now.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, well, while you pull that up,
So I would say, Luke, in addition to Kitty and Quicks, which I would agree with Drop Bear are really kind of favorite diamond level summoners. Dragon is just really powerful at diamond. I would say, honestly, Kelia. I really like using Kelia at diamond. There's a pretty nasty Kraken based team that's just annoying to face at diamond. So the extra shield and speed with Kelia is pretty useful. So,
well, for all of you who are wanting to play in diamond and you don't have diamond cards, just know, guys, I went 10-11 in a diamond league, Chaos Legion only. Guess which card I used to go 10-11? It was just one. Gold level, not even diamond level. What do you guys think? Chat or Cryptmancer Dropper, you guys can guess too. Let's see if anyone gets it. One gold level card to rule them all. It's Chaos Legion only, so it's not Kron.
I like the green one.
What was that?
The green one.
The green one?
Yeah, the green one. Starts with an O.
Obsidian?
yeah, I would say Kelia.
Yeah, we've two triages with it.
Okay. Well, sorry, it wasn't a summoner, just like one monster.
Oh, monster.
Yeah.
Dr. Blight.
Hey, we got it. Okay. Good job, Cryptmancer.
Too easy. Too easy.
I hate that Dr. Blight.
Dude, I swear, like, every time I play in a gold or diamond tournament now, I feel like I don't know what the percentage is, but a good chunk of my matches comes down to both of us have a Dr. Blight that scavenges up all the way, and then it's just whose Dr. Blight lands the poison first. There is like at least, I don't know, 20% of my matches seem to be that way. I don't know if you guys experience that, but it's like, really? Like, it's going to come down to this 50-50 like this often? Come on. Killing me. Drop Bear, did you find that summoner you were talking about?
No, it's just one of the comments. I didn't even pull them up. I stopped halfway through. I thought we just used the green one. My bad. My bad.
You're good. I was just curious.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I'll finish with this final question from Team Phoenix Rising. No math, no data, just in your heart, just the feeling, random date. They want to know when you think Chaos Legion will sell out. Just throw out a random date, because at this point it's just that random that who the heck knows. So let's put our money in a pool, guys.
Let's have a look. So what are you at? It's at 854.
Yeah, 8.5 million. We'll all bet one Pelacor Conjurer. We'll put it in a pool. Whoever gets closest, if we even remember. Pick a date, Cryptmancer.
Well, if we're gonna have the summer of Splinterlands, it's got to be beginning of September, because that would make it real. So yeah, I'm going beginning of September.
You got to give us a day, exact a day.
All right, September 5th.
September 5th, 2022. All right. Drop Bear, give us a date.
So just by estimating and look at it, so what do we got? We've got 2, 3, 4, 5.
No data. This is a heart feel.
I'm not data. We've got 6 summoners left, yeah?
Yeah.
It will speed up. I'm positive it's going to speed up just due to dice and everything. Right at the end, it's going to be FOMO as it gets closer to the end. So I reckon it's going to be longer. I reckon March next year, the 9th.
Ooh, wow. Okay, going into next year.
Because
See,
they're
I'm
going to
kind of
release
split.
that other too. So
yeah, I'm kind of split. I don't think it's going to be soon, but I think there's potential things like with the airdrop ending, all that, the DEC that's out there. I'm going to go later than Cryptmancer though. So, I'm just going to throw out my birthday because why the heck not? So November 15th, let's go. 2022. So there you guys go. Keep it in your minds. Chat. Keep track. We'll see you in a year and see who
I'll be looking to collect
wins.
my Conjurer in September, Luke. So
Okay. you're one Pellicore Conjurer. You know, I at that point I might even make it gold foil if you win. I might feel
Appreciate
that generous. Oh man! All right. Well, let's wrap up tonight. Let's sign off. Thank you guys so much for being here. First, I'll go to our newcomer Drop Bear. Again, where can people find your content, and what can they expect when they go there?
Okay, yeah. So me content, I do halfway through season, I do like a small giveaway. Then at the end of season, I do end of season delegations. So I delegate whatever my power is out, depends on how many enters I have 2 times. I delegate it for 2 or 3 days to use. So if you want to get involved in that, you can push up a bit higher and see what another deck's like. And you can find me at Drop Bear YouTube channel. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, thank you for being on. It was fun to hang out and talk to you. Cryptmancer, where can people find you?
yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Tales from the Cryptmancer, and I'm on Twitch, stream daily in the evenings, and also on Twitter. So thanks for having me on, Luke. It's always a great time chatting here.
Yeah, you only need to be on like 5 more times to catch up to Steve.
Hey, goals. Gotta have goals.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for being here tonight, chat. Thank you for chiming in with some questions and some takes. It was fun to just kind of a chiller Splinter talk with you all. And next week, I'm sure it'll be a spicy one as the reward changes will be live. I think starting next Tuesday is when they go live. So expect the next Splinter talk to be all about our testings of the reward changes, and it should be pretty spicy. For now, peace out, Paulum. Adios, everyone, and have a great night.